Howdy folks, Timber Drifter here. Good morning YouTube pipe community and anyone else that happens to wander in here. I'm out working in my garden this morning, which is why I'm wearing a loose shirt and a bandana around my neck. The mosquitoes are really enjoying feeding right here, but the bandana stops them. And while working in my garden, being kind of crouched over and low to the ground, I'm noticing, because I'm looking at an angle, all the wild strawberries glistening in the morning dew, so I've eaten a number of those, which you're a very lucky person if you end up with a handful of wild strawberries. Their flavor far outweighs their size. So we had a number of things that I was wanting to cover in a video, but I just haven't had time, or when I've had time, I haven't had the mental capacity to keep it together. So, we'll try it today. Since it's pipe week, I figured I'd try to at least get one video out. And in other news, I was sorry to see the passing of Ladon Mott. I haven't seen him around too much in the last couple of years. He's one of those guys I think about every so often, and I wonder, where's Ladon? What's he up to? And I'll go check his channel out. I think the last time I did that was a couple months ago, and he hadn't made a video for, going on a year at that point, I think. I didn't know where he was. And I started seeing his face on various prayer requests and things like that. Yeah, sorry to see him go. Always a nice guy, positive. I interacted with him early on for probably 3 years. We both started making videos on YouTube right around the same time. It was like late winter or early spring of 2014. Always a pleasant, positive guy to chat with. He didn't tend to go on in his videos like I do. Often enough, straight and to the point with some weather commentary. By the way, clear skies and 80 degrees today. Yeah, sorry to see that he passed. My heart goes out to his family. I know he had grandchildren. Yeah, so pipe week. I don't really know what all this pipe week stuff is about. I missed that apparently. But for a quote that sort of typifies the last year and a half and doesn't really apply to pipe week, and I see misquoted all over the place. And I have misquoted myself. I'll add it. It's from V.I. Lenin. There are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. And this is pipe week. I haven't watched any pipe week videos yet, except for Boca de Boyton's making fun of it. I don't know what's going on. It sounds fun. Every week for me is a pipe week unless I get into cigars, which tends to go on for about a week or two and then run its course. In other news, I see YouTube is running ads on my videos, or at least I see ads on my videos. I went back and looked at the last two because I'm not getting comment alerts, and I'm doing a bit of an experiment to try to figure out exactly what's going on with that. So I went back to actually look at my last two videos to see how many comments were on them, and there were ads on both of them. Are you guys seeing ads on my videos? I don't know why I'm waiting for you to answer. I can't hear you. But let me know. This channel's not monetized, never has been. I remember reading one of YouTube's emails a while back where they said they were going to start running ads on whatever. I'm surprised they're running ads on my channel. any of you know a way to make them stop doing that? I understand it's their profit model, but it annoys me. So, I guess I should also mention, if you're looking at your screen, you might have noticed I've got a bit of a shiner. Yeah, I haven't been fighting. See, my knuckles aren't skinned up. But, healing up now. Had a pretty good scrape there, and pretty deep one here. Probably should have had a stitch. But anyway, there are things that are inherently dangerous in life. Walking is one of those things. Especially if you're asleep while you're doing it. And I'll leave it at that. Now, a while back I was watching a YouTuber that I regularly watch. Trailing the Woolly Mammoth is his channel name. Good guy, we've met up. Sure we will again eventually. He was talking about Wessex curly block, which was mildly confusing to me because I guess I always think of curly block as being Peter Heinrichs. There, I got it out. I don't know what the deal is with that. I suspect it's the same product, but I'm no authority on the subject. What I was commenting on the expense of the product, and as was he in the video, and it's a lot to spend if you don't know that you like something, and it's also a lot of tobacco. But being that it's a Virginia Perique, I have suspected that I would like it, but that's not always a sure thing. Yeah, either way, he has my phone number and offered to send me some. And I include that he has my phone number because I realize it's very difficult for people to get a hold of me. I'm going to talk about that in another video. I've heard from a number of people recently complaining that they can't get a hold of me, and I understand. So, he sent a box. Also, I should say I don't do box openings anymore. I'm going to do one, but I'm not going to show you the box opening, and I've already opened it, and I'm smoking it. Not the box, well, you know. I don't do box openings anymore because those videos on my channel seem to draw a disproportionate number of trolls and rude, negative, and ridiculous comments that I then delete and block people, and I don't like doing that. Even on my political videos, I've never blocked anyone. They usually delete their own comments. But I don't like doing that, so I'm not going to be including box opening in the title. I'm not going to hold the box up because I don't get to pick my thumbnails for YouTube, so if I hold a box up, they'll use that. So I'm going to fly under the radar with this one. So, Trailing the Woolly Mammoth, channel name. His comment to me was, I was saying I didn't know whether I would like this or not. This is the curly block. Wessex curly block is, it will either, or his sending a sample to me will either cure my curiosity or ruin me. Well, I have yet to discern which one it has done. I've smoked about 5 bowls of it. He sent quite a healthy chunk of it. Now, I don't cut coins off of this. I tried cutting one coin, and it worked okay, but I don't like working with coin, so I just hold it in the palm of my hand and kind of cut around, and I have sharp knives, so that's easy to do. The tobacco ends up in my palm, and I can just roll it into a bowl, but I love the presentation of that. And of course, it comes in a big long, what was it, 250 grams or something. Like $90. Kind of expensive. But a special thing. I think this stuff would be ideal if you were escaping civilization for a long time and just throwing stuff in your pack. Like a couple of logs of this, I think would do you quite well. And also, when you're stuck in the woods for a long time, Escaping Civilization. Pretty much any tobacco is very good. If you've only got one or two blends with you, it all tastes really good. And I would say, even though I'm not doing that, I do enjoy the flavor of this tobacco, but I've only had 4 bowls of it. It's not definitive, right? I don't know. I will say that it's very interesting, and I find nothing about it off-putting other than the price. But to me, it was free, so I can't complain about that. So thank you. He also included a tobacco that I thought I had tried before, Gowth Hogarth Happy Bogey, but looking at this, I've never smoked a twist that small. So I haven't had that. I will. He also included a card, which I won't read to you, but it's a nice picture. Fly fishing scene. I mean, with all those rocks, that could be the Deerskin River. Nice. He included a few tens. Like I said, in typical pipe community fashion, sent far more than he said he was going to. Also, always appreciated. Always. And, yeah. 110 of something he knows that I like, which is Capstan Gold Navy Cut. And another 10 I haven't tried yet. I've not tried the 10 St. Bruno Flake yet. I've highly enjoyed the pouch, so I'm looking forward to that. But he also sent a 10 that kind of threw a wrench into my plans. I've been making some orders, or I had been, and I will be in the future, making some orders, sort of stockpiling tinned tobaccos, primarily Virginia related, whether Virginia Perique, straight Virginia, or Virginia Oriental. Sort of for, I guess we call it cellar stocking, right? But I think more of in terms of long-term supply storage. Things that I know I will enjoy in the future, hoping to buy them before the price becomes outrageous. While there is still occasional availability of some of these blends. And one of those blends is Capstan Gold Navy Cut. Been smoking that for a lot of years now. And I had tried, I remember things differently at different times, but I did find that I had a 10, an old narrow 10, they're about like maybe this wide, of the blue Capstan in my collection, so I know that I did smoke a 10 of that. But I think what happened was probably over 10 years ago, I bought a 10 of yellow and a 10 of blue, and I smoked them both, and I decided that I liked the yellow better than the blue. Isn't that lovely? Look at that. Now the blue is a bit darker flavor and color, a little bit deeper flavor, perhaps a little stronger. It has more of a fruity vinegar scent rather than a fruity, when I say fruit, I'm thinking of dried figs. This has a slight edge of vinegar, not really, I think a lot of people wouldn't even pick that up. But a slight edge of vinegar as compared to the yellow, which has more of a fresh baked bread, bakery, yeasty scent. Well, the problem is, I had tried both these blends all those years ago and decided I liked the yellow better, and I just stuck with that. The decision was made. I'll just smoke the yellow. Well, he's thrown a wrench into my plans because I quite like the blue as well. Maybe as much as the yellow. So I'm going to have to order both as they become available. When I can get them. What I like about both of these Virginias, well, there's many things I like about them, but they are a true all-day smoke for me. And that's really, other than the 4 bowls of the Curly Block, that Capstan Blue's all I've been smoking the last 5 days, I guess, something like that. This is not a it's not a huge billiard, but the way that I pack this is I fold the flake in half widthwise and then lengthwise, twist it slightly and screw it into the bowl and pinch off whatever is remaining off the top, which leaves lots of hairs and fibers to light, right? Once I get that going, I can, if I'm not over puffing like I do when I'm making videos often enough, I can keep that pipe going for an hour and a half, this pipe. And then maybe dump some ash out. I mean, I'm tamping slightly while I'm doing that, or perhaps stirring a little bit. Sometimes you have to get in and kind of stir the edges around. But I might be able to dump out a good chunk of ash and then smoke it for another 20 minutes. And while I often don't have time to smoke that long unless I'm driving long distance or sitting around reading or working in the garden, I can also cap this pipe and just leave it and come back to it hours later, as long as it's not a super humid day. Stir it a little bit, dump out a little bit of ash, and light it up, and it tastes just as good. Maybe better on occasion, even. So I can make 1 or 2 pipes last all day, rather than my usual handful of pipes in a bag and a couple of different tobaccos. Now, I wouldn't say I get tired of these blends at all, but I do want something else occasionally. But yeah, I'd be quite happy with either of the capstan blue or blue or gold, original navy cut or gold navy cut, with an occasional bowl of something else, at least in the summertime. So thank you. Well, that's enough. Thank you for joining me, and perhaps I shall see you. That's not my line. Get outside. That's my line. Unless you're sleepwalking, and then stay in the house. Take care.